Okay, you don't need this. I'm just thinking suspicion that's how you got the letter down. Okay, and the letters don't need to be up here either. Okay. Monster can move over there. Hey, stop taking your pants out of the closet, okay? Okay, these are all clean. Come on, man. I just finished today cleaning all your dirty laundry. I really don't want to have to go through it again. Okay. All right. Here we go. All right. This gray shirt really doesn't give me a flattering line, does it? All right. Hi, everyone. You coming or what? That's my good girl. Okay. So, tonight we're going to read a pumpkin prayer for our Halloween themed book. And then he got this book called Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Monkey Business from school. So we'll read that and see what that's all about. And then we'll read Yertle the Turtle and Other Stories. And that should get us to the 15-20 minute mark. What are you doing here? Okay. Stop trying to get her to bite your arm, okay? All right. D'Alessandra. She doesn't like that, darling. She told you. Yertle the Turtle? Okay. All right. Yertle the Turtle and Other Stories. Hey, Dr. Seuss. Okay. Watch him go crazy? Turned it off. See how long he lets that sit. Okay. Yertle the Turtle. On the faraway island of Salamasan, Yertle the Turtle was king of the pond. A nice little pond. It was clean. It was neat. The water was warm. There was plenty to eat. The turtles had everything turtles might need. And they were all happy, quite happy indeed. They were, until Yertle, the king of them all, decided the kingdom he ruled was too small. I am ruler, said Yertle, of all that I see. I don't see enough. That's the trouble with me. With this stone for a throne, I look down on my pond, but I cannot look down on the places beyond. This throne that I sit on is too low down. It ought to be higher, he said with a frown. If I could sit high, how much greater I'd be. What a king, I'd be ruler of all I could see. So Yertle, the Turtle King, lifted his hand. And Yertle, the Turtle King, gave a command. He ordered 9 turtles to swim to his stone. And using these turtles, he built a new throne. He made each turtle stand on another one's back. And he piled them all up in a 9-turtle stack. And then Yertle climbed up. He sat down on the pile. What a wonderful view. You see most a mile. All mine, Yertle cried. Oh, the things I now rule. I'm king of a cow and I'm king of a mule. I'm king of a house, and what's more beyond that, I'm king of a blueberry bush and a cat. I'm Yertle the Turtle, oh marvelous me, for I am the ruler of all that I see. I know, baby, but if you leave it alone, it'll get better. Okay? That's why you have to be careful and not be a crazy person. I finally put his letters up high above at the very top of the ceiling here along the wall. And he was so excited earlier that he rolled off the edge of the bed and caught himself on the corner here. And so he's got a little scratch in his armpit that he's obsessed with. And all through that morning, he sat there up high, saying over and over, what a great king am I. Until long about noon, then he heard a faint sigh. What's that? Snapped the king. And he looked down the step, and he saw at the bottom a little turtle, a turtle named Buck. Just part of his throne, and this plain little turtle looked up, and he said, beg your pardon, King Yertle. I have pains in my back and my shoulders and knees. How much longer must we stand here, your majesty, please? Dolly, remember, that's how you got hurt before. Be careful. Please get back in bed. Silence! The king of the turtles barked back. I'm king, and you're only a turtle named Mac. You stay in your place while I sit here and rule. I'm king of a cow, and I'm king of a mule. I'm king of a house, and a bush, and a cat. That it's a doll, I'll do better than that. My throne shall be higher, his royal voice thundered. So pile up more turtles. I want about 200. Turtles, more turtles, he bellowed and brayed. And the turtles way down in the pond were afraid. They trembled, they shook, but they came, they obeyed. From all over the pond, they came swimming by dozens. Whole families of turtles with uncles and cousins. Hey, back in bed. And all of them stepped on the head of poor Mac. One after another, they climbed up the stack. Then Yertle the Turtle King was perched up so high he could see 40 miles from his throne in the sky. Hooray! Shouted Yertle, I'm king of the trees. I'm king of the birds and I'm king of the bees. I'm king of the butterflies, king of the air. Ah me, what a throne, what a wonderful chair. And Yertle the Turtle, oh marvelous me, for I am the ruler of all that I see. Then again, from below, in the great heavy stack, came a groan from that plain little turtle named Mac. Your Majesty, please, I don't like to complain, but down here below, we are feeling great pain. I know up top you are seeing great sights, but down at the bottom, we too should have rights. We turtles can't stand it, our shells will all crack. Besides, we need food. We are starving. I can't say words. Starving, groaned Mac. You hush up your mouth, howled the mighty King Yertle. You've got no right to talk to the world's highest turtle. I rule from the clouds, over land, over sea. There's nothing, no nothing that's higher than me. What are you doing, Yertle? But while he was shouting, he saw with surprise that the moon of the evening was starting to rise up over his head in the darkening skies. What's that? Snorted Yertle. Say, what is that thing that dares to be higher than Yertle the King? I shall not allow it. I'll go higher still. I'll build my throne higher. I can and I will. I can call some more turtles. I'll stack them to heaven. I need about 5,607. But as Yertle the Turtle King lifted his hand and started to order and give the command, that plain little turtle below in the stack, that plain little turtle whose name was just Mac, decided he'd taken enough, and he had. And that plain little lad got a little bit mad. And that plain little Mac did a plain little thing. He burped, and his burp shook the throne of the king. And Yertle the Turtle, the king of the trees, the king of the air and the birds and the bees, the king of a house and a cow and a mule, well, that was the end of the Turtle King's rule. For Yertle the king of Salamason fell off his high throne and went plunk in the pond. And today the great Yertle, that marvelous he, is king of the mud. That is all he can see. And the turtles, of course, all the turtles are free, as turtles, and maybe all creatures should be. Gertrude McFuzz. There once was a girl bird named Gertrude McFuzz, and she had the smallest plain tail ever was. One droopy feather, that's all that she had. Ooh, that one feather made Gertrude so sad. For there was another young bird that she knew, a fancy young birdie named La-la-li-loo. And instead of one feather behind, she had two. Poor Gertrude. Whenever she happened to spy Miss La-la-li-loo flying by in the sky, she got very jealous. She frowned and she pouted. Then one day she got awfully mad and she shouted, "This just isn't fair. I have one, she has two. I must have a tail like La-la-li-loo." So she flew to her uncle, a doctor named Dick, whose office was high in a tree by the lake. And she cried, "Uncle Doctor, oh please, do you know of some kind of a pill that will make my tail grow?" "Tut, tut," said the doctor, "such talk will help, sir. Your tail is just right for your kind of a bird." Then Gertrude had tantrums. She raised such a din that finally her uncle, the doctor, gave in, and he told her just where she could find such a pill, on a pillberry vine on the top of a hill. "Well, thank you," chirped Gertrude McFuzz, and she flew right straight to the hill where the pillberry grew. Yes, there was the vine, and as soon as she saw it, she plucked off a berry. She started to gnaw it. It tasted just awful, almost made her sick. But she wanted that tail, so she swallowed it quick. and she felt something happen. She felt a small twitch, as if she'd been tapped down behind by a switch. And Gertrude looked round, and she cheered. It was true. Two feathers, exactly like La La Lee Loo. Okay. I don't know what that was about. Do you have the crazy? Yeah. I can't do anything about that. I already put Neosporin on it. Hey, don't smack yourself. Calm down. Relax. Okay. Then she got an idea. Now I know what I'll do. I'll grow a tail better than La La Lee Loo. These pills that grow feathers are working just fine. She nibbled another one off of the vine. She felt a new twitch. And then Gertrude yelled, "Wee! Miss Lala only has two. I have three." When Lala Lulu sees this beautiful stuff, she'll fall right down flat on her face, sure enough. I'll show her who's pretty. I certainly will. Well, I'll make my tail even prettier still. She snatched at those berries that grew on the vine. She gobbled down 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And she didn't stop eating, young Gertrude McFuzz, till she'd eaten 3 dozen. That's all that there was. And the feathers popped out, the zang with a zing. They blossomed like flowers that bloom in the spring, all fit for a queen, a sight to behold. They sparkled like diamonds and gumdrops and gold, like silk, like spaghetti, like satin, like lace. They burst out like rockets all over the place. They waved in the air and they swished in the breeze, and some were as long as the branches of trees. And still they kept growing. They popped and they popped until long about sundown, when finally they stopped. And now, giggled Gertrude, the next thing to do is to fly straight home to Lala Lilu. And when Lala sees these, why, her face will get red, and she'll let out a scream, and she'll fall right down dead. Then she spread out her wings. Now let's find the number 4. What's going on in that head of yours? You want to explain some things? I understand that you're trying to use the book to scratch yourself. Or not. Or to just slam your hand. Okay. Then she spread out her wings to take off from the ground. But with all of those feathers, she weighed 90 pounds. She yanked and she pulled and she let out a squawk. But that bird couldn't fly, couldn't run, couldn't walk. And all through that night, she was stuck on that hill. Gertrude McFuzz might be stuck up there still. For good Uncle Dick hadn't heard the girl yell. He rushed to her rescue and brought along help. I don't know. No. You have to learn boundaries, kiddo. To lift Gertrude up almost broke all their beaks, and to fly her back home, it took almost 2 weeks. And then it took almost another week more to pull out those feathers. Gertrude was sore. And finally, when all of the pulling was done, Gertrude, behind her, again had just one. That one little feather she had as a starter. But now that's enough, because now she is smarter. Big brag. The rabbit felt mighty important that day, on top of the hill in the sun where he lay. He felt so important up there, on that hill, that he started in bragging, as animals will. And he boasted out loud as he threw out his chest, "Of all of the beasts in the world, I'm the best. On land and on sea, even up in the sky, no animal lives who is better than I." "What's that?" growled a voice that was terribly gruff. "And why do you say such ridiculous stuff?" The rabbit looked down and saw a big bear. "I'm the best of the beasts," said the bear, and so there. "You're not," snapped the rabbit. "I'm better than you." "Pooh," the bear snorted. "Again I say pooh. You talk mighty big, Mr. Rabbit, that's true. But how can you prove it? Just what can you do?" Thought the rabbit. "What can I do?" He thought and he thought. Then he finally said, "Mr. Bear, do you see these 2 ears up on my head? My ears are so keen and so sharp and so fine. No ears in the world can hear further than mine. Humph, the bear grunted. He looked at each ear. You say they are good, said the bear with a sneer. But how do I know just how far they can hear? I'll prove, said the rabbit. My ears are the best. You sit there and watch me. I'll prove it by test. And he stiffened his ears till they both stood up high and pointed straight up at the blue of the sky. He stretched his ears open as wide as he could. Shh, I'm listening, he said as he stood. He listened so hard that he started to sweat. The fur on his ears and his forehead got wet. For 7 long minutes he stood and he stirred. And he said to the bear, do you know what I heard? Do you see that far mountain? It's 90 miles off. There's a fly on that mountain. I just heard him cough. Now the cough of a fly, sir, is quite hard to hear when he's 90 miles off, but I heard it quite clear. So you see, bragged the rabbit, it's perfectly true. Now my ears are the best, so I'm better than you. The bear for a moment just sulked as he sat, for he knew that his ears couldn't hear things like that. This rabbit, he thought, made a fool out of me. Now I've got to prove that I'm better than he. So he said to the rabbit, you hear pretty well. You can hear 90 miles, but how far can you smell? I'm the greatest of smellers, he bragged. See my nose? This nose on my face is the finest that grows. My nose can smell anything, both far and near. With my nose, I can hear twice as far as you hear. I can smell twice as far as you hear. Yeah. You can't, snapped the rabbit. I can, growled the bear. He stuck his nose way up in the air. He wiggled and he sniffed and he snuffed. He waggled that nose and he whiffed and he wuffed. For more than 10 minutes he sniffed and he snuffed. Then he said to the rabbit, I've smelled far enough. All right, said the rabbit. Come on now and tell exactly how far is the smell that you smell. Well, I'm smelling a very far smell, said the bear. Away past that fly on that mountain up there. I'm smelling past many great mountains beyond, 600 miles more to the edge of a pond. And way, way out there by the pond you can't see, it's a very small farm. On that farm is a tree. On the tree is a branch. On the branch is a nest. A very small nest where 2 tiny eggs rest. 2 hummingbird eggs. Only half an inch long, but my nose, said the bear, is so wonderfully strong. My nose is so good that I smelled without fail that the egg on the left is a little bit stale. And that is a thing that no rabbit can do. So you see, the bear goes, I'm better than you. My smell is so keen, I just can't be beat. What's that? Called a voice from way down by his feet. The bear and the rabbit looked down at the sound, and they saw an old worm crawling out of the ground. Now, boys, said the worm, you've been bragging a lot. You both think you're great, but I think you are not. You're not half as good a fellow like me. You can hear and you can smell, but how far can you see? Now, I'm here to prove to you big boasting guys that your nose and your ears aren't as good as my eyes. And the little old worm cocked his head to one side, and he opened his eyes, and he opened them wide. And they looked far away with a strange sort of stare, as if they were burning 2 holes in the air. The eyes of that worm almost popped from his head. He stared half an hour till his eyelids got red. That's enough, growled the bear. Tell the rabbit and me, how far did you look, and just what did you see? Well, boys, the worm answered, that look that I took was a look that looked farther than you'll ever look. I looked across the ocean, way out to Japan, for I can see farther than anyone can. There's no one on earth who has eyesight that's finer. I looked past Japan, then I looked across China. I looked across Egypt, then took a quick glance across the 2 countries of Holland and France. Then I looked across England and also Brazil, but I didn't stop there. I looked much farther still. And I kept right on looking and looking until I'd looked around the world and right back to this hill. And I saw on this hill, my eyesight so keen, the 2 biggest fools that have ever been seen. And the fools that I saw were none other than you, who seem to have nothing else better to do than sit here and argue who's better than who. Then the little old worm gave his head a small jerk, and he dived in his hole and went back to his work. Which one do you want to read now? This monkey business one? Alright. Oh geez, we're already at 20 minutes? I don't remember that book being that long. Alright, well these are pretty short I think, so we'll get through these quick. One day while training in the dojo, Donatello and Michelangelo began arguing about the best methods of defense. Mikey, you need a plan for every attack, said Donatello. Isn't that right, Splinter? You must be fully in the moment so you can fight without thinking, replied Splinter. Just then, the turtle's friend April O'Neil ran into the dojo. According to the news, a scientist named Tyler Rockwell is missing, she said. April's father, an important scientist, had been captured by an alien race called the Krang. Maybe the Krang have taken this guy too. Donatello and April decided to investigate. They raced to Dr. Rockwell's abandoned lab. While searching the dark room, Donatello found a canister of mutagen, a mysterious Krang chemical that had mutated the turtles. Suddenly, a shadowy figure attacked. Donatello overcame the attacker. His name was Dr. Falco. He was the missing doctor's assistant. He revealed that Dr. Rockwell had been using the mutagen to perform strange experiments on a monkey. That's a hard word for kids to say. It's a hard word for me to say. It looks like the monkey didn't like being locked up, Donatello said, investigating a mangled cage. He noticed a computer flash drive and slyly took it. As Donatello and April left the lab, the giant monkey leaped from above. Watch out, April yelled. He's a dangerous mutant. That makes two of us, Donatello replied. Donatello charged, swinging his bow and staff, but the raging monkey knocked him back easily. The monkey locked April in his massive arms, then paused. They had a connection. April could easily read the monkey's mind, and he could read hers. Everything's okay, she whispered reassuringly. The monkey relaxed, but then ran away. Back at the lair, Donatello analyzed the flash drive and learned that Dr. Rockwell was using the mutagen to give his lab animals psychic powers. That monkey can read minds, Donatello explained. Cool, Michelangelo said. I wonder if you could tell me what I'm thinking. I've always wanted to know. April and the turtles went to find the monkey. The turtles traced the monkey to a dark alley. They couldn't match his strength and speed until Mikey rolled up on his skateboard, swinging a rope. He lassoed the monkey. April stared at the monkey, which stared back at her. He only reacts violently to angry thoughts, she said calmly. Great! We got the monkey, but we're not any closer to finding Dr. Rockwell, said Raphael. An idea suddenly occurred to April. She turned to the turtles and said, I think this is Dr. Rockwell. The turtles returned the monkey to the lab, where they made another startling discovery. It was Dr. Falco who had been using the mutagen on Dr. Rockwell. He was my guinea pig, said Dr. Falco confessed. Well, it didn't work, Michelangelo said. You turned him into a monkey. His katana swords flashing, Leonardo sprang at Dr. Falco. The turtles quickly realized that Dr. Falco had used the mutagen on himself, too. He could read the turtles' minds. Knowing their attack plans before they struck, Dr. Falco was more than a match for the turtles. Suddenly, Donatello remembered Splinter's words. You must be fully in the moment so you can fight without thinking. He cleared his mind and launched himself like a bolt of lightning. His flying kick hurled Dr. Falco across the room. Dr. Falco realized he was defeated and quickly ran away. The turtles knew they couldn't leave Dr. Rockwell tied up, so they released him and he bounded out a window. They immediately heard a woman scream in a car crash. Maybe New York City isn't the best place for a psychic monkey who reacts to angry thoughts, said Raphael. It's a weird story. And then this one's super short. So, a pumpkin prayer. With thanks, I say a pumpkin prayer under an autumn sky. For crunch, crunch, crunch beneath my feet and leaves piled up this high. For autumn winds so cool and crisp that launch the leaves in flight. For orange, yellow, brown, and red, a colorful delight. For yummy smelling pumpkin pie, and orange grins that glow. For family, friends, for plenty, and a God who loves me so. I'm tired, baby? Good. You need to get some sleep, sweet boy, okay? What? I know, baby. I know. You just got to stop hurting yourself, okay? You gotta stop hurting yourself, baby, okay? You gotta calm down. Okay? Okay. Take another look at it in just a second. All right. Ooh. All right, everyone. Well, we will be back tomorrow for more stories. All right. Gotta go look at his armpit again. He's being weird about it. All right, everyone. Good night.